Again, welcome back this morning. We're on mornings for our 1500 show, chatting with Liza Minnelli. And again, welcome.
Thank you,
you were just talking about Peter Allen. And
oh my God,
I got to say, anybody under 30, you have no idea what this is? Look, remember? Look,
do I remember?
Vinyl.
And wonderful. Just wonderful. I mean, I adored Peter. I loved him so much. He was such a great man. Really a great, great man. And he invented himself. He invented himself. And I watched it happen. I thought it was just great. You know, we stayed friends. I was with him a few days before he died. Yes.
When you say he invented himself, I don't quite understand that.
Well, I think that he felt restricted, you know, and I think that he needed literally to come out. He needed to do that, you know. You have to be true to yourself. You must. And in order to do, I think it was a kind of joyous rebellion. And he stood at the piano, he wore those wacky clothes, and he did great things. And he was just terrific.
As a person, as a songwriter.
Yes.
How do you see Peter Allen as a songwriter?
Oh, I think he's a genius. And I mean, he didn't, so many of my arrangements too, like he arranged things that I'm singing, you know, here. So I don't want to tell you exactly.
Okay.
I want you to come and see.
Well, indeed. In fact, Liza at the Palace, you won a Tony for this show. And this is part of the Australian show?
Oh, yes. The first half is all from that show.
Wow.
And but the second half, I listened to the people that I know over here.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, the guys, look at them. Look at that choreography. I believe in Chinese jackets, evidently. They're easy.
You have created not only Liza at the Palace, you created Minnelli on Minnelli. And this was an opportunity for you to research your own father. What else could you have learned of him?
Oh, I learned how to tell a story in song through him. He also helped me. He helped me all through cabaret. I would call him and I'd say, I don't know how, they want me to wear green nails, you know. I had to do this thing that now I've got on green nails. But I mean, to me, I was biting my nails. I didn't have any nails to paint green. He said, well, here's what you do. You go get some false nails and put them on. I said, but what should I look like, Daddy? Marlene Dietrich, don't you think? And he said, no. This was before I left town to go to Germany. He said, no. Have you ever seen Theda Bara? Ever seen Louise Guam? So he steered me towards becoming myself and inventing the look in cabaret, which I did through his, you know, guidance. And in Minnelli on Minnelli, I wanted to be able to remind people of what he did. I mean, he made some of the best movies in the world. And he's a very, you know, he's a quiet man, very funny, but quiet and shy in public. On this, you know, on the set, he was like a tiger. But he was a great artist, and he knew what he was doing. He knew his craft. Is it true that you believe he gave you your dreams and your mother gave you the drive? Yes, I think so. I mean, it's sort of whittled down. Yeah, he did. He taught me to dream. Every night he'd tell me a story, right? And he'd say, what do you want it to be about? And I'd say, I don't know, a Christmas tree? And it would be the middle of summer. And he'd say, oh yes, all right. And he'd make up this wonderful story about this little tree that nobody ever picked because all the trees were so grand and big. And this little girl came in and she found this tree, and she picked that tree. And finally, that tree was somebody. You know, it was just wonderful. How old were you then? Oh, gosh, little. You know, 6, 8, 10. Yeah.
You have such vivid...
Yeah.
you have such vivid memories of the words your father spoke.
Oh, yes. Always.
He must have, as you said, he really tutored you, counselled you through cabaret, some of,
and through
Oscars
everything.
and through everything.
All of them.
Early in your career, there was that inevitable comparison to your mother. Did he give you advice as to how to deal with that?
No. But he believed in me. And that's all I needed. Do you know, when I said, can I go to New York for the summer? I was 15. And my parents said, why? I said, I'd like to be on Broadway. And they looked at each other and, well, maybe you can stay with our friends, and but the summer, and then you come home. I said, what if I get a job? And they said, well, if you get a job, then you won't come home, will you? I said, okay. And they both smiled and kind of waved, and I got a job. And I didn't go home. But I did go home always to visit them, you know. They were so nice to each other. They were lovely people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such warm memories you have of that time.
Yes.
It's vivid.
You know, I didn't go through all that drama that other kids went through, I guess. I was really supported and looked after and tutored and guided and disciplined.
Really? What sort of discipline?
Absolutely. Well, you do something wrong.
You couldn't have done anything wrong, Liza Minnelli.
Well, of course I did. Everybody does.
What sort of stuff do kids get up to then?
I don't know. I remember one time we were living in England, and a friend of mine and I, we wanted to go to the coffee bars, right? I was about 13. And so we waited till my mother left, and then we put on her clothes, tight skirts, you know, and tops, and all this stuff, and we snuck out the window of the second floor of this house. And as we're edging along the thing towards the ladder that went down, my mother stuck her head out and said, have fun, don't get home too late. I thought, oh, you know, oh, okay. You know, but they talked to me, my parents, and that's what I've always looked for. My father taught me to really ask questions and to be curious and to respect other people and their talent. So I do. And I want to, you know, how do you do it? What is your secret? You know, I love it. So I guess the curiosity really drives me.
It's wonderful. Now, Liza, I have some of the most wonderful vision. Your introductions, this is not your first time to Australia, as we all know, but the most wonderful moments when Liza Minnelli was introduced to Australia. So if you'd be so kind to stay with it, because I know you're going to love this.
Of course.
Stay with us, more coming up.
Sheer madness. Or the adventure of a lifetime. How can they possibly allow a 16-year-old to confront this all alone?
Who says she can't do it?
Jessica's farewell interview.
I'm ready to throw around the world.
Also,
it's a sex appeal thing, isn't it?
Whatever works.
The real Aussie master chefs.
It didn't happen overnight.
Teaching the Yanks how to cook a decent feed.
It's ridiculous, but I love it.
Toyota presents 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Be the first to experience Crown's whole new world of dining and entertainment.
When you spend hours a day in the pool, it's essential that the water is safe and crystal clear. And your family's pool is the most important of all.
That's when you can rely on SwimMart Pool and Spa Services for all your pool needs, like free water testing, expert advice on chemicals, all pool and spa equipment and accessories. They'll even come to your place. and take care of it all for you. Now this is a pool I'm happy to swim in.
Swim Art, Australia's pool and spa specialists.
Life's moments pass us by. Capture them with Michael Warshall Picture Maker, one of the world's premier portrait studios. The first 50 online registrations receive a $400 gift voucher. Register at michaelwarshall.com.au.
Research suggests the dose of fish oil needed to help with the joint inflammation associated with arthritis is 2.7 grams of omega-3 daily. So how do you get 2.7 grams of omega-3? You could eat 1.23 kilos of snapper, eat 1.1 kilos of canned tuna, or take 9 standard fish oil capsules every day. Or just take 1 teaspoon of ethical nutrients high-strength liquid fish oil with a pleasant fruit punch flavour and no fishy aftertaste. It's easy to take.
The Spring Savings Catalogue is out now at Regal Mattress Outlets. There's fantastic savings on all mattresses, like the Phase 4-hour Super Comfy double-sided pillow top, Queen only $549. If you want quality Australian-made mattresses at factory direct prices, it's got to be Regal.
Man to Man. It's all happening with 50% off all suits. Yep, 50% off all suits. You'll look good at half the price. 50% off all suits. Limited offer, so be quick. Man to Man. Dressing men since 1981.
Be the first to experience Crown's whole new world of dining and entertainment, featuring 4 new restaurants, 2 stylish new bars, and an amazing new gaming area.
Again, welcome to Mornings, the legendary performer Liza Minnelli on our special show. It was 1967 when you first came to Australia.
Yes.
In fact, there seemed to, as I've seen, there was a bit of debate as to who was going to introduce you. Look at this.
As compere of the show, I feel I should probably introduce Liza at this. Would you just...
No, Brian. She's my sister, and I think I should do it.
Isn't that Chris?
Yes.
No, actually, come to think of it, I think I should. She's my wife. But
I am compere.
Wait there. Let me just...
Yeah, no, Lisa is my sister-in-law and
Liza. Liza, yes.
As you can see, I have a problem sometimes, and that's my name.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
I've forgotten that. That's wonderful.
Oh, and the Liza with a Z, not Lisa with an S.
Yes.
Who could ever imagine nobody could spell your name?
Well, I was called Lisa all the time. So Fred Ebb was so smart. He wanted to make any special piece of material I did special and personal. And he said, this is really a problem for you. And he wrote the song in 2 hours, and I learned it in a half hour and performed it. And it was wonderful. It changed my life. He gave me myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
You also worked with Peter, performed with Peter.
Sure.
On many occasions. You know, being individual acts, writers, performers, creators, is that a tough call, especially with someone who you adore so much?
I think it was just the way it goes. Can't change anything. So it's your point of view that counts.
Now, well, when we look at this, do you remember it?
Yes, I do. Look at he's so comfortable.
So do performers have their own space, especially even in a duet and a trio like that?
Oh, sure. Because you're with your friends.
But not stepping on each other's toes and making it work.
Well, you're happy you're doing it. See, it's fun. I find it great fun. Or at this age, I wouldn't be still, you know, hawking my wares.
And hawking it, isn't she hawking it well, ladies and gentlemen? There is another moment from that time which I just think it's probably one of my supreme moments. And again, this is from the era with, I think, one of the greatest songs ever written. Well, I guess everybody's asking, in the Australian show, will you be singing that?
I think so.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
What a great song.
Oh,
Those
please.
lyrics.
Oh, please. All Canternet stuff, for me, was... they're the best songs to sing in the world. Because they're about something, and the way that Fred Ebb spoke and the way he wrote lyrics was so... I could learn his lyrics like that.
Because they made sense to you?
Well, the way he described things made sense. And it was clear, and I understood it.
So you'll sing Maybe This Time. Do those lyrics have meaning for you? Will you find love again?
Oh, I found love. Right here. Right here. And that's what it's about. That's really what it's about. I'm an old lady, come on. I've had it.
You meet so many people. You're in Australia. I mean, there's Perth, there's Melbourne, there's the Opera House, everywhere around. Each, and we're actually just looking at the dates, and we'll make sure they're posted on the website and everybody can have a look at them now. But meeting
Brisbane,
people...
I love.
And Brisbane. What do you remember of Brisbane? I mean, it was...
I remember everything about everything. I just remember how beautiful everything was and the clarity of the atmosphere. You know, it was gorgeous. Like it's been the last 3 days. Absolutely like living inside a diamond. Just look out and it's there. Beautiful.
You have such exuberance for life, but we haven't even touched on your film career. What an extraordinary film career. New York, New York.
Yes.
What a movie. And of course, your leading man was Robert De Niro. Now, there's a guy who scared a lot of people. I mean, he was, as an actor, as he grew, he became a very scary guy. What was it like to work that close with Robert?
Scary. No. What it was like was every scene we did, we made up as we went along. We had like points that we had to get to. But I mean, how Martin Scorsese edited it, I'll never know. No, but it was good. And he was so intense, but so funny too.
He was young and intense.
Yes. But I mean, when he walked onto the set that first day, you know, when we're in the big dance hall and everything, and he came in, it was a completely different person than I had rehearsed with. And so it was the first time I'd met him, so it worked.
So as your father once said to you, acting is hearing something for the first time.
And saying something for the first time. But hearing something for the first time is very important.
Even with that song, New York, New York, I understand it was written by your very talented writers, but Robert De Niro, who's certainly not a songwriter that I've seen on any credits, made them go back and write it again, and they weren't too happy about it.
Yes, that's true. They wrote a really stylish song of that time, like Blue Moon, like it's something really croony and very pretty.
Well,
and
certainly made it work
De
that
Niro
time.
and Scorsese did the old producer walk, you know. They just walked away with it. And
the producer walk, how does that go again?
Well, it's when, you know, you've just done something and you go...
I'd get up if I could, but I can't.
They go, you don't, you know, they go, be right back. What do you think about this? That's the producer walk. I've seen it a lot. But he did come back and say, it's not as strong as the world goes round. It's got to be stronger than the world goes round. And Fred and John got, you know, a little hot. Not too much. They understood. But the heat that it created that song. They went home and said, oh, really? They want something hot? All right. And John was so great with all of, you know, the introductions that he did. And they came, when they sang that song to me, I thought I'd die. It was so good.
Well, listen, for our chat this morning, I just want to say what a pleasure it's been for me. Again, Australia, you will get to enjoy the wonderful talent of Liza Minnelli. There are the dates up again on the screen. But Liza, we have the great privilege this morning, everyone here in this room this morning, it is a rare treat to be up close and personal with someone like yourself. So you're going to sing for us, and we do thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I just tell you one quick little story?
Yeah.
Do you ever remember the Hollywood Palace?
Oh, yes.
Well, I was a little girl watching you on the Hollywood Palace, and you had an ostrich feathered dress, a little white one. And I saw that, and then as I became a singer when I was about 17, my mother and I went to Brisbane, where I was born, and we made this dress. And I sang it in a nightclub because I wanted to pretend I was Liza Minnelli. Here I was, the little, well, I could wear short dresses then, give me a break.
Yeah.
I had this little white ostrich feather dress, and as I went out to sing so proudly,
yes,
the boys in the band rolled boiled eggs onto the stage.
I bet you didn't use it.
I was mortified.
Did the feathers start coming off? Because my dress wasn't feathers.
Oh, wasn't it?
No, it was little white daisies without the yellow in them.
That's where I went wrong.
See? But it looked like feathers.
It did. Liza Minnelli will sing for us after this.
Okay, I want to ask a very straightforward, if not slightly awkward question. Have you ever given any thought to your own funeral? Now, I'm guessing the answer is no, but you know what? You're probably not alone. It's simply a subject most of us would rather not talk about. But if you don't take a few minutes now to think about it, you could end up leaving your family with a difficult job of finding thousands of dollars to pay for your funeral costs. So Matt joins us today to talk about how he's been able to help protect his family from these costs with the Aussie Funeral Plan. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Roz. I'll admit that I'm just like everyone else. I didn't like to even think about a time when my family would have to organise a funeral for me. Now, I'm not planning on going anytime soon.
Oh, good.
But I've got a wife and kids, and the last thing I'd ever want to do is leave them struggling to find the money they'd need to cover my funeral. So I set out to find a funeral plan, and after a bit of research, I decided the Aussie Funeral Plan was right for me.
Yeah, well, when you think about it like that, who would want to leave that kind of stress for their family?
I definitely think planning for your funeral is important. I learned that lesson when my neighbour's husband died. She didn't like to ask anyone for help, but I know she struggled to find the money to pay for his funeral.
I know I didn't really want to think about my own funeral, but we're all going to go sometime, aren't we? I knew if I didn't plan now for my funeral that Beth and the kids would eventually be left to pick up the costs, and I didn't want to leave them with that.
I must admit I was a little surprised when Bob took out an Aussie funeral plan, but it does make sense. It's taken away that niggling worry about where I'd find the money to pay for his funeral.
Yeah, so Matt, can you tell me how the Aussie Funeral Plan can help your family with funeral costs?
It's simple and straightforward, really. If you were to pass away, the Aussie Funeral Plan can pay your chosen benefit of between $3,000 and $15,000 to your family. So they have the money to help cover these often unexpected costs without having to dip into their savings or take out a loan.
Okay, so at least you will be able to help your family cover the funeral costs.
That's why I took out an Aussie funeral plan. No matter how you look at it, a death in the family is going to be difficult to deal with. But if death is the result of an accident, it just makes things that much more stressful for the family. And that's why the benefit has tripled in the event of accidental death.
Okay, so if your policy had a $15,000 benefit payout, would it then become a $45,000 benefit payout if death was the result of an accident?
That's right, Roz, and with Aussie Funeral Plan, as soon as completed claim proofs are received, all valid claims are paid without unnecessary delay.
Yeah, you know, something that I really like about the Aussie Funeral Plan is that you said you organise your cover over the phone, so I bet that saved you a lot of running around.
It sure did, Roz. With Aussie Funeral Plan, you are guaranteed cover over the phone in a single call. So as long as you're an Australian resident aged 18 to 74.
Yep.
And to make it as easy as possible, you don't have to take a blood test or answer any health questions.
Yeah, you know, if you took a few minutes to call right now, it sounds like you could relax knowing that this is one thing you won't need to worry about again. But Matt, let's get right to it. Are the premiums affordable?
Well, I certainly thought so. Now, Aussie Funeral Plan premiums are based on your age, so everyone is going to be a little different. But premiums start from just $3.44 a fortnight. Plus, you can add your partner and dependent children to your policy from just an additional $2.83 a fortnight. So to find out exactly what premiums would be for you, just call now for a free quote.
I think taking care of your funeral expenses is simply the right thing to do.
Yep, now we're covered. It's just one less thing to worry about.
It only took us a few minutes over the phone. And they even gave us 30 days to make sure the policy was right for us.
And I like that the premium rate is guaranteed to stay the same for 3 years.
Yeah, so you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee, and with Aussie Funeral Plan, the premium rate stays the same for the first 3 years that you keep your policy.
That's right, Roz. You can probably see now why the Aussie Funeral Plan was the simple choice for me.
Yeah, Matt, thank you so much for coming in. So why not take just a few minutes out of your morning and call on 1300 45 4775 or visit aussie.com.au/insurance to find out how you could put yourself in a better place.
If you missed out on the Hey Hey reunions, be sure to catch the special encore presentation, Saturday 7:30 on 9.
Little mommy baby at Chew feels sick.
Tissue, please. You need medicine. I'll better know.
Little mommy baby at Chew doll makes over 30 real sounds.
Another one?
Join me for the grand opening of Danny Marker's new general merchandise hall on October 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There'll be great entertainment, bargains galore and plenty of fun for the kids. Make Danny Marker your place to shop. I have.
At Coles, 97% fat-free quality honey leg ham is half price, which should leave you with plenty in the piggy bank. Fresh savings, just another way it all counts at Coles.
More power! More power! What's going on here, Captain Jerk? 50% more solar power! That's what!
That's right! Call Modern today and buy 6 solar panels and get 3 more free! That's 50% more solar power free when you sell your racks to Modern!
Give it all she's got, Modern! Buy 6 and get 3 free! Hook up the tractor beam! We're going Modern! Well, I'll be spocked. The future's looking bright with this one.
Call Modern now on 1300 Modern and get 50% more solar power today!
Read my beat. Modern it.
If you're building on a budget, you should know that last year, East West Homes accepted 4 HIA awards for Best Display Home under $250,000. For a new home that won't break the bank at East West Homes, yes, we can help.
My house, your house, you'll find it all at the House of Christmas.
Quality trees and decorations at amazing prices. Find it all at the House of Christmas, 376 Johnson Street, Abbotsford.
Halloween is here and it's time to party. Lombard the Paper People have the largest range of Halloween costumes, decorations, tableware, balloons, monsters and more. You'll be disgusted at what we have in store. Visit Lombard, the spookiest party shops in the universe, for really horrible stuff.
Simply follow this recipe for the best tomatoes in the world. Get some potting mix, mix in Yates Dynamic Lifter with its unique recipe of organic ingredients, add some Yates tomato seeds, and drizzle with some water. Oh, here's one I prepared earlier. Yates Dynamic Lifter. Get gardening.
In a brand new episode, look who's back.
It's brand new. New 2.5 Men, Monday 7:30 on 9.
It's Liza Minnelli.
You know, it's been about 20 years since Liza Minnelli last performed in Australia. I can assure you it is worth the wait. Look at the tour dates. You will thoroughly enjoy it. They're on the screen right now. But for our special morning's 1500th show, Liza Minnelli with Billy Stritch on piano, I Would Never Leave You.
Thank you, Carrie. What a great show to be on. Just wonderful. You're wonderful. The show is wonderful. And the people are just terrific. I feel like I know every one of you now. I would like to sing a song, especially for you. And it was written by my friend, by my pianist, by a great entertainer. And it's just wonderful. It was written by Mr. Billy Stritch. People that I pass often ask me, how you been? How about this weather? Oh my God, you're looking thin. Though I'm flattered by complimentary chatter, we hardly get much farther than hello. I'll always tell you the things things that really matter. The only thing you really need to know. So why do you ask? Where have I been so long? I've been right here, living my life in song. I've been around, I've been lost, I've been found, but I've never really been gone. I've had romances, put my heart out, took my chances. I learned when it's time to move on. Oh, but I ain't never left, though I've been left alone. With every breath, I'm strong on my own. The smoke is cleared, and look who's here. The same dame you've always known. Oh, I never left, and I would never leave you alone. I've never really been gone. I learned when it's time to move on. Oh, but if I have learned one thing in life that's true, you're there for me, and I am here for you. The smoke has cleared, and look who's here. The same damn dame you've always known. Oh, I never left, and I would never leave you. Where will I go? Don't you know how much I need you? I never left, and I would never leave you.
Absolutely spectacular. It may have been 20 years, but it is definitely worth the wait. Ladies and gentlemen, Liza Minnelli. Enjoy your time in Australia.
Oh, I will, honey. I'll call you.
Please call.
Maybe we'll have dinner.
Billy, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very, very special time for us. I know you've got a busy schedule, so we appreciate your time.
Oh, honey, it's my pleasure.
It's been magic. Thank you. We're going to continue our party, so stay with us. We've got Alex Perry, Vanessa Amorosi, but first have a look at this.
Are you struggling to lose those love handles nobody loves? Well, Peter is here to show us a fun and easy way to help you get into shape. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Roz.
Now, what have you got for us today?
Well, today I'm here to offer our viewers a 30-day trial of the Ab Circle Pro. It's the easiest, most fun way I know to help you blast that fat off. Traditional exercises go forward and back, But what about your obliques? And some exercises go side to side. But what about your upper and lower abs? Now there is the Ab Circle Pro, which is so advanced it targets your entire core, upper, middle and